Legion is a Marvel television show it's kind of like in the X-Men universe, but really not in the X-Men cinematic universe. But it was created by Noah Hawley, and it's really an excellent TV show that sometimes gets a little too odd for its own sake.
Explain that.
So is he crazy, or...?
Continue. He believes he's mentally ill. But he may be the most powerful mutant we've ever encountered.
Can we take a break? Please?
Of course. Let's take a break.
So if you're not familiar with the character of Legion, in the comics, he is Professor Xavier's son. And he is kind of like a mentally challenged, super powerful, mental mutant. And he is when they first introduced him, he was kind of part of the Young Mutants, and when they came in with new characters, but he is part, he witnesses a terrorist attack, and he kind of explodes them all. But when he does that, they enter his brain, their souls and their minds, and he's stuck with all these split personalities in his brain, and does a lot of trippy stuff in the comics. But in the show, they kind of take that idea of the character and run wild with it. Noah Hawley, he really switches everything up. But because technically, the Marvel television and the different Marvel cinematic universes aren't related technically. So I think to get Legion and to get the other mutant TV show they have going on right now, they essentially they traded that for Ego in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Might have been something else too, but that was a big thing they traded for it, and they had to get permission from Marvel to make this TV show, and because of that, they can't have the movie mutants. They can't ever say that Professor Xavier is his dad, and they can't have any of the mutants from the big mutants from the movies. So they try to create this different kind of world for it, and I think it really works. The only thing is that if you're expecting the X-Men, you're not going to get that. In this one, David Haller, played by Dan Stevens, is he's a young man that is in an insane asylum for schizophrenia, but he doesn't have schizophrenia. He's a psychic, and things go on with a lot of crazy stuff happens, and he has this stuff in his brain that's been haunting him since a child, and it's creepy, and he gets to know more and more about what's going on, and then in the first season. And then you get a lot of backstory about who this character is and his family and everything that's going on. And then they also introduce other mutants. And as a whole, the first season is just incredibly artistic and original. And also really Aubrey Plaza. She plays a character that's kind of, you don't know if it's in his brain or in the real world. It's kind of a lot of tricky things with that. And then in the second season, it gets a little too weird for me, honestly. It was, the first season was weird, the second season was super weird, and they also do some timey-wimey stuff in the second season, and they do a lot of crazy things, a lot of there's voiceovers and stuff introducing the show, and there's a lot of weird, creepy things that the second season does, even more than the first. If you're creeped out by stuff, the second season may be tough to watch. I don't know if you can watch some of it. But there's a lot of people with chattering teeth. There's a lot of weird creepy things in it. But they've done a lot of cool stuff too. It's such an odd show. I think a show like this could only exist on FX. Because it's so weird, and I think that it let the creator do what he wanted, without that much interference. And it created a really interesting show that at times is kind of stupid and kind of weird, but as a whole, it's just incredibly original and artistic. And I would recommend it. I'd probably give an 8.5, 8.75 out of 10. Both seasons are good, and I know the third season probably coming next year, and I would recommend it. But thanks for watching. Check out the replay from my head and subscribe to me over there. Thanks.